This is going to be a brief testimony. So if anyone doesn't know, because I don't know who's up there, I received the Holy Spirit back in college. I know because I spoke in a new language that I didn't learn, but I didn't hear the truth until many years later. Got baptized New Year's Eve 2014, and been fellowshipping since. So the testimony I want to give is one I have not given before, because I just recently realized that I have this testimony. So a lot of times when we're, we'll pray for something and get healed eventually, or we will pray for something once and get healed instantaneously. And then there's sometimes where the Lord just takes things from you just because he's always working on us and molding us and shaping us. And so this is kind of more of one of those times, even though it is something that I prayed about a little bit here and there. So a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive tendencies, which is basically a fancy way of saying you could have obsessive compulsive disorder, but because you have these other categories that it can fit into, we're not going to say you have obsessive compulsive disorder. And a lot of people think of obsessive compulsive disorder as needing everything to be straight, or washing your hands obsessively, and sometimes that can be part of it, but it's not, it's not that simple. So for me, one of the things that has been part of my story is the need to keep checking things, like feeling like I've lost something and I need to keep checking, make sure it's there, or feeling like I didn't do something and I have to check and make sure that it was done or done correctly. And I would usually do that in threes. I'm going to give you some real examples of ones that I've done. So checking the alarm clock. So you got to check the alarm clock to make sure you actually set your alarm. And then you have to check it again to make sure that you actually saw it correctly, in case the first time when you looked at it, maybe you thought you set it, but you didn't really set it. So you check it again to make sure you actually did set it. And then you have to check it a third time to make sure that when you checked it the second time, you didn't unset it. Or checking, in the grocery store checkout, got to make sure your debit card is there. Because what if I get to the front and I don't have my debit card? Well, I look in my wallet and okay, it's there. But then, oh wait, maybe that was the wrong card, so I got to check it again. What if I dropped it after checking it the second time? So I got to look again. Stove knobs, locks on doors, and this is something that I don't know when it started, but it was there most of my life. And I realized last couple of weeks that I don't remember when the last time was that I had to check things like that. I might be laying in bed and did I lock the door? And I'll get up and I'll go look and I can see the lock on the door is up and down. I'm like, oh yeah, it's locked, and I'll go back to bed. But I haven't been checking things in threes. I haven't been obsessing about things like that, and I don't know when it stopped. I just want to give glory to the Lord, because that's not something that just stops on its own. It's a pretty big disorder and not something you can just will yourself not to do. So I know that was all the Lord, and I just want to give glory to him.